Right now on Close Up, federal funding and Planned Parenthood.
That highly edited video that now, of course, as we have gotten further, and I've read
that
pages
highly edited video that you apologize for.
Pages.
A lot of people want liver.
And I personally apologize for the staff members' tone and statements.
We've got so much good work to do, but instead, what do? We harp on a woman's right to make the choices that are hers to make.
Why do you need federal dollars? You're making a ton of dough.
Do you defend the sale of baby body parts?
No.
Jesus, that you'd move on this city, to asking that you would move on our
Coming up, we talk with those on both sides of this highly controversial debate right now on Close Up.
This is Iowa's news leader. This is KCCI 8 News Close Up.
Good Sunday morning, everybody. The seemingly never-ending battle between those who are against abortion and those who support a woman's right to choose was thrust back into the American consciousness when a series of undercover videos was released by a pro-life group. The videos purportedly show Planned Parenthood staff talking about selling aborted fetal body parts. This morning, we get both sides of this debate. We begin with Susanna DeBacco, Planned Parenthood of the Heartland, and we'd like to thank you, first of all, for being here. And then let's just begin with those videos, Susanna. Planned Parenthood claims that the hidden camera videos were highly edited. And there are studies on both sides of this issue, and there's a lot of controversy as to whether they were highly edited or not. What is your stand on this?
Indeed, these videos were highly edited. We know now that a group called the Center for Medical Progress spent 3 years in an undercover sting operation and illegally obtained footage of Planned Parenthood providers and employees, and then they took the video footage, they manipulated it, they edited it very heavily, spliced it, and put it back together in a way that discredits or attempts to discredit what Planned Parenthood, some Planned Parenthoods do in terms of fetal tissue donation.
Okay, you said they obtained this video illegally. What's illegal about the way that they did this?
This group, a very small group of anti-abortion activists, essentially posed as a legitimate tissue procurement company with fake business cards and fake phone numbers and presented themselves as legitimate, tried to set up business meetings. We had no reason to believe it was not a legitimate company and essentially entrapped our providers and employees and into talking about what is a legitimate practice, fetal tissue donation that's used for life-saving research.
Okay, there are in excess of 30 hours of this video. They would have to be edited, so if they have to be edited, so you say it was manipulated?
Mm-hmm. In fact, there were 3 different video forensic specialists who examined the videos, the short versions and the long versions, and found in both instances there was significant editing and splicing. So what's happened is what the public is seeing in some of those short videos in particular appears to be conversations, but in fact was editing that took things out of context and really made things appear in a way that they were not.
Have you seen the videos in their entirety?
I have watched every single minute of the video footage.
Okay, and what'd you think?
Mm-hmm. I know the individuals who are in these videos, and I know what it appears that they are saying is very, very manipulated. It comes across in a mischaracterized way, and I know that this handful of Planned Parenthoods who engage in life-saving fetal tissue donation comply with every single aspect of the law. So it's very unfortunate that this has occurred.
Okay, so from what you've seen and heard, are you comfortable that the videos show that Planned Parenthood has not sold aborted fetal tissue for profit?
Absolutely. No Planned Parenthood engages in buying and selling of any kind of body parts. What you saw on those videos was specifically conversations around very legal tissue procurement that goes to research institutions to help with science around diseases like Parkinson's or Alzheimer's. And we know, we can all agree that that kind of research is important.
Okay, what kind of government oversight is in place to make sure that this tissue is not sold for profit?
My understanding is that fetal tissue donation is regulated by federal law, and any group that's involved with it has to comply with regulations. Planned Parenthood does so. There were some investigations of affiliates who engaged in this, and my understanding is they've been cleared of all wrongdoing.
Okay, is there any way to make sure that Planned Parenthood has not profited from this?
Well, Planned Parenthoods, we are all independent affiliates governed by a federated structure, and the Federation and our affiliates all have 990s, we all file tax returns, we all have records that are public, and so we are very open and transparent, and people can look at those records. We comply with all health and safety regulations.
Okay, and thank you very much, Susanna. And when we come back, we talked with Susanna about the attempt to defund her organization, over $520 million in federal money, and if she thinks that the fight has only just begun. We'll be right back.